sealed matches, progression matches, and memes. This show has it all. Welcome to the Seal of Prog-richalcos. Last episode, Tobias just about gained on us in the overall series scores, still trouncing us in the progression matches, but we're doing well enough in the sealed matches to maintain our lead. He's caught us by 1 though, reducing this gap between us to 14, with me on 51 and Tobias on 37.
37! Yes!
As for bans, we're both mutually getting the Wall of Revealing Light out of the format. We don't want this card anywhere near the games that we want to play. It's just kind of toxic. We didn't use it in Ancient Sanctuary because we felt it was just unbeatable and none of us want to really play it in progression.
I have no friends.
I'm also, as the loser of many a progression match, I'm finally exercising my right to ban a card out of Tobias's deck, and that card is Kaiser Colosseum. Whilst not Tobias's strongest card that we don't have, because we actually do have a couple of Kaiser Colosseums, this card is just so frustrating to play against that if we're in a losing position, or even if we're in a position where we could actually try and advance the game state, if Tobias is just playing passive and just has one monster on board, we can't do anything. And it's so back-breaking being in that position. I just can't deal with this card anymore, so I'm banning it. So the first set we're opening today is Dark Revelation Volume 2. Now this reprint set was released in the tail end of 2005, and reprints all the great hits from Dark Crisis, Invasion of Chaos and Ancient Sanctuary. Not that there were too many hits in the latter of those sets.
Sick burn.
We do obviously of course have our big Chaos Beaters and Dark Magician of Chaos as probably the 3 standout cards for the set. All of these other ultras pale somewhat in comparison. In the rares we get another chance at Berserk Gorilla, bunch of these other sort of decent watery guys. In the supers, another chance to get a second Manticore of Darkness would be nice. Freed is good. Zaborg, which we missed in Ancient Sanctuary, would be an omnipresent threat in a lot of our decks, so that would be a good pull. Econ as well. In the commons, just a whole bunch of things that we probably already have 3 copies of, so not a lot to talk about here. Alright, so we're bugging out with 1 Bug Growth, some Atomic Fireflies, Avatar of the Pot, Boganian, Coach, Goblin. All of these cards are pretty much terrible. There's Counterblow could come up. DD Borderline is quite funny, like if there are no spells in the graveyard, so in an early game scenario, we can just stop the battle phase, so just sort of ensure we get to where we need to be, to the point where we can like beat Tobias, so that card's pretty good. Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master, Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. I hate that name.
Crazy card. We did get our second Manju, which is really good, so if we ever want to pivot to like a ritual strategy, we have a couple of this guy, which is great. Second Monster Gate is nice. Nice Assailant and Smashing Ground are great removal options. And yeah, that's about it. Vampire Lady's funny, and we got the 2 walls that we're not going to use. And I did realise also, so last episode where I was playing 2 Sanctuary in the Sky in my progression deck, and I only pulled 1 in Ancient Sanctuary, that's because I pulled the second one here, so I think there must have been some confusion, because I think that match must have been after we'd actually opened this set, but I just got it wrong, sorry about that.
Well, I don't accept your apology.
I have a little bit of a confession when looking at this deck. I don't think we'd explicitly stated that Wall of Revealing Light was going to be banned for this match before we played it. So I do have a couple in my main deck, and I think if it gets to the point where it's annoying and just wins me game 1, I do have some things that I can side them out with. But don't call me a cheater just yet, just because I have this card here. I don't think we'd actually formally agreed it was completely out of the format at this stage. With that out of the way, let's have a look at our monster lineup. We've got an Amphibious Bug Growth Mark III, not that we can use his ability. Atomic Firefly, basically if he gets blown up by battle, Tobias will take 1,000 damage. That could win us the game, that's about it. Boganian is just a sort of burn card every turn, but not very good otherwise. Enraged Battleox is pretty good. Getsu Fuma, just 1,700. Hyper Hammerhead actually bounces cards back to the hand, so that's pretty good. Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master, obviously an all-star of Ancient Sanctuary and still a very good card here. Manju, just 1,400. Night Assailant pops a card. Protector of the Sanctuary, just a decent defender, and double Regenerating Mummy for more offensive threats. We have a Sand Gambler who potentially can blow up the board, but it could just blow up our own board, so very much a risk-reward card. We have 1 Venus, not that we have a Shine Ball, but 1,600 attack is good, and 1 Mars. Since we do the Sanctuary in the Sky, if we're up on life points, this card could just become huge, and bearing in mind there's not too much removal, he just gets bigger and bigger as we're able to do more damage with him. So this card could be a really nice win con. We have the 2000 needles here. We have the 1 vampire lady, white magician Pickaroo, really scraping the bottom of playable monsters here, and then 2 decent normal monsters, Giga Gaga Go and the Mad Dog. For the spells, we are playing DD borderline, so if we put no spells in the graveyard, neither player can have a battle phase. So this essentially just allows us to build resources into the point where we're ready to take a big swing at Tobias, since we can just preserve these cards in our hand. We've got the 1 Earthquake Monster Gate to just try and trade one of our useless cards for something a bit better. Double Smashing Ground for removal. Stray Lambs gives us some bodies. Stumbling is a bit of an annoying card, but if we're in a really bad position, we could just use this to basically make sure that we don't take too many life points. 1 Sanctuary in the Sky to combo with the Agent of Force Mars. For the traps, we've got the Des Counterblow. 2 Desert Sunlight. I don't really know why this card is here. It changes our monster to defense mode, maybe protects our life points a little bit better than some of the other things we did pull. 1 Destruction Ring. This is terrible. We blow up 1 monster we control to inflict 1,000 to each player, but it could win us the game. Door of Fate is terrible, so in the opponent's turn we pick one of their monsters, and then if we summon a monster on our next turn that's 1 level lower than that monster, they take 500 damage times their monster's level, which is just a really sketchy way of potentially doing 2000 damage. Like we target a level 4 and then summon like Venus and deal 2000. That could actually matter. Energy Drain is a good battle trick. Double Labyrinth of Nightmare. This just ensures Tobias' strong attackers go to defense in the end phase. Likewise, it ensures our strong attackers go to defense, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but if we use it proactively, this could be like some excellent removal. Solar Ray, we are playing a decent number of lights, so we could burn with this. There's a lot of burn cards actually in this deck. And then the Double Wall, as I said, but this card might be sided out if it's deemed too strong. Alright, let's hop on into the games. Tobias goes for the humble set 4 pass. I suppose he knows that Heavy Storm is not in the format. Summoning down the Regenerating Mummy, and it's over to us. Hyper Hammerhead is a decent out, but it only puts Tobias back a turn. We're going to go for the Agent of Venus Creation. Pay the 500, realise we don't have a Shine Ball.
I got no balls.
Tobias goes for the Neo Bug. Are you kidding me? This card is insane.
He's the one.
I'm going to take a fat ton of damage here, and we're going to go for the Labyrinth of Nightmare to turn his guys sideways. We're going to summon the Rocket Jumper. Go in, my jumper. Attack directly. Pachow. Oh, we're going to get a hero emerged, so I've got to pick a card into Tobias' hand, and it gets summoned if it's a monster. Well, I wonder what this card could be. It's a Spirit Cooler. Spirit Cooler comes out. In the end phase, Rocket Jumper goes to defense, and we're going to get cooked by all of these Chunguses. We lose our Rocket Jumper to the Spirit Cooler, and then we're taking 3,600 here. Main phase 2, Tobias goes for the DNA Transplant. Oh, and the Solar Ray. You are obsessed with this card, Tobias. Right, okay, I'm going to take 1,800 here, and everything's going to go sideways. Well, we drew the 1 card that can get us out of here, so if we get 3 heads, we get to pop all of Tobias' monsters. 3 tails, we lose our Spirit Cooler. Sorry, our Sand Gambler. Heads.
Tails, you lose.
Into game 2, we get the Rocket Jumper and Venus again. Somehow this deck is consistent despite the fact that we only have 1 copy of each of them. We're going to go for the D borderline, shut down the battle phase for both of us, and we're going to start assembling some advantage with Venus on the board and Labyrinth of Nightmare as a back row. Tobias is going to go for 2 and summon down the 0. Our turn. Des Counterblow is funny, not very good though. We're going to summon the Rocket Jumper, just past the turn. Tobias goes for the Soul Absorption, interesting. And Moki, his spirit animal, descends.
It's just a cloud with lips.
My turn. Destruction Ring is funny, but not very good. Tobias is going to go for the Emissary of the Oasis. All the Ancient Sanctuary standouts. Solar Ray, we drew our own burn card. Tobias is going to set, summon down Freed. Oh, what a good card. That is such a sick pull. Tobias goes for the Solar Ray, dealing us fat 1,800 to us.
Feel the power of the sun!
Our turn, we're going to draw the Boganian, and now we can just let the burn slowly wither away at Tobias' life points. Oh, he goes for the Goblin Thief, so we're going to take 500 here, and he's going to gain 500. That's going to negate Boganian's first burning here. But if we can just stave off and wait enough turns with the borderline out, hopefully Boganian's good enough to win. Tabas is going to take another 600 on our turn. We're going to pass. Tabas is going to summon down Balloon Lizard. Oh, that's kind of funny because he can just start getting counters, and eventually when Balloon Lizard dies, I'm going to take a butt ton of damage. But the hope is we never get to that point because we're hoping that Boganian can just get us to victory.
6 months later.
What a weird game. DD borderline burn. That was not really the intention of playing the card, but it worked pretty well here. Tabas to go. He's going to set down a card, set down another, and summon Neo Bug. Our turn. We're going to draw the Giga, and we're going to just set down the Protector, pass the turn. Regenerating Mummy comes down. Thankfully our Protector is swole enough to defend against them both. In the main phase 1, we're going to just set down our Sand Gambler, summon 2 Stray Lamb tokens. We just want to ensure we've got some board presence before we commit to the Giga in case it gets blown out. Lord Poison, one of my all-time favourite early Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Very fun card. Our whole field is outed apart from the Protector, so the field presence didn't really last long anyway. We're going to tribute for the Giga, and we're going to hopefully start cracking on in. First into the Lord Poison, even though it makes more sense to clear the bigger threats. But potentially Lord Poison presents some recurability if Tabas is able to get another plant in the grave. In the main phase 2, we're going to set down Matt Sanctuary and start stumbling pass the turn. Tabas is going to set a monster pass the turn. Ooh, we've drawn the Mummy. Brilliant. Now our Mummy can start killing Neobug. And our Giga can out Tabas's other threat. I don't know why we did that, attacked in that way instead of just getting rid of the regenerating Mummy, just because obviously this set monster could have been a Jiu-Jitsu master or anything, but I guess we were playing a bit risky. Ooh, Blessings of the Nile. Each time a cards are discarded.
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
We draw the DD borderline, which is insane, but at this point, obviously, we're trying to be aggressive. We're going to go for the Sanctuary in the Sky once we summon the Venus, and just to insulate our life points a little bit here. Going to start out into Tabas's board. Down goes the Regenerating Mummy. Our own Mummy's going to clear Solar Flare Dragon, and then Venus is going to get in. Oh, hero emerges. Oh, Gigo, meet your match. We're going to pass. Tabas's turn, and he outs our Regenerating Mummy with his Gigo. Argo, yeah, we're going to have to force the crash here. At least we've drawn the Mad Dog, which is another really good offensive threat. And then we're going to go in for 3,500 here. Tabas is down to 28, and in the main phase 2 we're going to go for Stumbling just to ensure that anything he plays next turn can't attack our monsters. He's going to go for a set, and it's our turn. We draw the Manju, pretty good card, we're going to summon it, turn it into defense because of Stumbling, and we're going to attack in. Let's see what Tabas is dealing here with here. But to face a monster that flip face up after activation of this card cannot be changed except with a card effect. Okay, so we can't shift our monsters to defense mode, and Balloon Lizard also can't be shifted to attack. Suppose that actually does protect Balloon Lizard from stuff like Labyrinth of Nightmares, and it's just going to start stacking up counters until we can deal with it. We're going to farm with the Monster Gate. I probably don't need to because I think most of the cards we're going to... I was going to say most of the cards that we would summon were worse, but Boganian is definitely not worse than Manju. Boganian is the win con, baby. Tabas is going to stack up another counter. Our turn is going to take 600, and we're going to summon the Mummy in attack mode. We can't shift the Boganian to attack because of... Oh, Oh, did it only affects monsters that are flip face up? I thought it affected all monsters on the field. Okay, that's just weird. Right, we're going to shift our Boganian to attack mode because it's got slightly more attack than defense. We're going to summon the White Magician Pickaroo and pass the turn. Tabas's turn. He sets a monster, our turn. And with this, the game is over. We're going to deal with 600 with Boganian, and then we're going to gain with White Magician Pickaroo. Battle, we're going to attempt to go in, see what Tabas is cooking with. Emissary. Pass the turn. We're just sitting on this destruction ring when we know we've won. He goes for the Soul Absorption. Banishes our Light in the Dark for Chaos Sorcerer. Okay, gets rid of the Boganian. I'm now feeling like a bit of a fool. Oh, Smashing Ground is perfect though. We're going to gain up a nice 2,400, set down a monster, churn our guy sideways, and pass the turn. Chaos Sorcerer is going to start attacking in, and we're going to go for the Destruction Ring, tribute our Rocket Pilder to deal 1,000 damage to each of us. I could have won the game. Why am I... Oh, well, we've got the Door of Fate, which is funny. We're going to attack into Tabas's new set with the Mad Dog, Spirit Cooler. Thankfully doesn't float into anything. White Magician Pickle finally gets banished, down for the count, and it's our turn again. Solar Ray, a little bit too late given we only have 600 burn damage with it, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. Jabbar sets a monster. It's going to gain 500 once he banishes our Mad Dog.
Nice job out there, Mad Dog.
It's actually a pretty sick combo with the Soul Absorption and the Chaos Sorcerer. We're going to go for the Smashing Ground here, get the Chaos Sorcerer out of here at last. We're going to go for Agent of Venus into attack mode, Vampire Lady to be summoned, and then we're going to attempt to attack into whatever Tabas's newly set. Kozaki, okay. Your go. Oh my god, you've got another Light in the Dark. Another Chaos Sorcerer comes down.
Not this shit again.
Tabas is going to banish the Regenerating Mummy, gain another 500 here. It's over to us. Getsu Fuma. We're going to summon the Getsu Fuma, just pass the turn. Tabas is going to go aggressive now with the Chaos Sorcerer. But actually, nope, he's still just going to banish the Getsu Fuma. Des counter blows funny, because at least if now Tabas attacks with his Chaos Sorcerer, we can out it. Vampire Lady gets banished. Tabas is just healing up for days. Night Assailant is actually a convincing out to the Chaos Sorcerer. You have to banish face-up monsters, dude. Oh, we misplayed. I kind of think this whole game is a little bit gone to pot anyway, because we could have just won with the Destruction Ring. I just did not expect Tabas to be able to mount a comeback with Chaos Sorcerer of all things. We're going to go for the Wall of Revealing Light. So pay 3,000. And now Tabas is just starting to discard. Oh my gosh, we can summon Agent of Force Mars, and this guy's absolutely huge, but he's just going to get banished by the Chaos Sorcerer. I think this is just going to go to deck out, right? Like, none of us can do anything, so I just lose, don't I? Because I've got less cards in deck. Oh, we're going to go for the Tribute for the Gagagigo. Can't attack, can't do anything. We just, yeah, this is...
Torture.
Tabas is discarding, we're setting, everything's going crazy. We've got one card left in deck, and we lose! I think we should have won that game. I don't know whether I just didn't notice the Destruction Ring in the moment, or whether I thought like, let's prolong the game a bit more. The first two draws were really quick. But it ended up in a situation where we just literally couldn't out Tabas's Chaos Sorcerer. So yeah, I guess that's fair enough. We did lose. It's our fault for trying to play a little bit BM wise. Okay, so Soul of the Duelist is our next core set, released in October 2004. This set introduced the ultimate rarity, one of my all-time favourite rarities for all Yu-Gi-Oh cards. This rarity is absolutely gorgeous, all foiling, and essentially the 25 ultimate rares are the rares, super rares and ultra rares, with just the possibility of getting them in ultimate. So they did away with secret rares for this set, and this is one of the first sets that is down to, I think there's only 60 cards in the main set. So there's a high likelihood that we're going to get more than enough of every single common and rare card in the next few sets from the core lineup. In terms of the new mechanics introduced in this set, we got the level monsters in the forms of Ultimate Insects, the Horus the Black Flame Dragons, Dark Mimics, and then the Armed Dragons and Mystic Swordsman lines. Of these, only really the Armed Dragon line is good, because the 5-star one, Armed Dragon level 5, is sort of a monarch on legs. You can discard a monster to pop a monster with less attack than that monster, so decent and doesn't require the level mechanic to actually make that effect happen. And the other rare slots, Hammer Shot is decent removal. We finally get the King of the Ojamas. In the super rares, the only card that's really relevant is Mobius, the Frost Monarch. Now this is probably I'd say the best Monarch until like Force of the Breaker. So Mobius is here to stay should any of us pull him. His ability to just wipe 2 back while on Tribute Summon with 2400 attack is just unprecedented at this point in Yu-Gi-Oh! And he was a mainstay of basically most tournament decks at this time. Horus level 6 is also pretty good if we do pull a couple of the level 4s. The ultra rares are all pretty bad. Inferno Fireblast only how it works with Rare Eyes. Horus level 8 is very strong but so hard to get out on the field. Basically, if he just battles a defense position monster, and if he battles a set defense monster, he destroys it. Mystic Swordsman level 6, is that even in this set? I don't think Mystic Swordsman level 6 is in the set, so I think if you want to level him up into his final form, you have to wait until the next set. which is a weird thing that they did also with the Ultimate Insects. You only get level 1 in this set, whereas level 3, 5 and 7 are scattered across the next sets because everybody was excited to play the Ultimate Insects. They had to just like delay them 3 months at a time because otherwise it would have been too strong.
Oh, that's sarcasm, isn't it?
I think Mind Crush is probably the best one here. Fusion Weapon and Ritual Weapon, I remember thinking these cards were crazy as a kid because I was like, wow, 1500 attack, that's nuts. No, nothing's going to be able to beat my Lycanthrope, my Cucullin the Awakened with these cards out. In the commons, yeah, there really isn't too much that's good here. Ultimate Baseball Kid, I used to, oh man, I have such fond memories of this card because as a kid, when I got the Fire Structure deck, I did not know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I thought you could just summon an unlimited number of monsters each turn. So I think I was playing my dad and I ended up with the Ultimate Baseball Kid plus like 7 other fires that I just summoned all down from my hand. I'm like, now this Baseball Kid's got 7,500 attack, I win. Yeah, not how this card works, but it's still kind of a decent card in those old kind of days. The element cards are actually pretty good. I really like Element Dragon a lot. It gets 500 attack if you control a fire, and if you've got a wind, you can attack twice, which is pretty good with some of the other dragon adjacent cards. We get the evolved forms of Maneater, Muka Muka and Hain Hain here, and all of them are kind of situational and a bit too difficult to make good use of. And yeah, that's about it. This set really has nothing good going for it, to be honest, aside from Mobius. Let's just flick over to the collection and see what we pulled. We've got 2 level 3, 6 of the level 5 for the basic armed dragons, enough element dragons. Hallowed Life Barrier was a super rare, but it's not a very good one. We did pull 2 level 4 and 1 level 6. Double Inferno Fire Blast for all the use that card is. Oh, and there he is. We got the Mobius.
I'm a proud member of Mobius now.
We got enough Mind Crushers to last a lifetime. We got 1 Hammer Shot. And yeah, that's about it. Anyway, let's have a look at our sealed deck and see what we were able to brew up. Now, I'm actually pretty happy with this deck. It looks good on paper. Very consistent lines. Decent ways of basically interacting with most of what Tobias is able to throw at me, but it does have some shortcomings. For a start, we only did manage to get 2 of the Armed Dragon level 3, and whilst this card isn't essential at 3, it probably would be nice to have the 3rd copy. 2 of the level 5 in the main deck. We've got 3 level 1 Dark Mimics just to draw. 3 Element Dragon. This card I think is the standout card of the set. There's a lot of good wind cards with the Armed Dragons and fire cards with Masked Dragons and the Horses that this card could actually get both effects online at the same time and be a very strong offensive threat. We are playing double Hain Hain, a little bit telegraphed and also maybe not as good as the Maneater Bug because it is bouncing to hand as opposed to sending to the graveyard, but we wanted to test this card out in the main deck because it can bounce 3, which is insane. If we realise that this isn't helping us too much, we can always sub them out for the Noble Maneater Bugs from the side. We've got double level 4 and 1 level 6 for the Horus line. We've got triple Master Dragon just to float either into Element Dragon or into the Armed Dragon level 3 depending on the scenario. We of course have the 1 Mobius, the Frost Monarch. Triple Mystic Swordsman level 4. This is just a kind of annoying card to play because you've got to set it first and then flip it over next turn, but 1900 attack is very strong if it's able to live that. We're playing double with Fleasius Seduction.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
So we just basically get to take a monster for a turn, which is pretty darn good. And triple Skulldog Malone, just 2000 defense. We've got the 1 Hammer Shot in the spells, that's the only good spell we pulled. Triple Absolute End. So this card is really good at just allowing our monsters to live a turn. We just basically force all the attacks that are conducted to become direct attacks. Gorgon's Eye is a hedge against Tobias' own potential Rafflesia. If we're fearful when we're attacking in, or we see that he's set a monster and we think it might be the Hain Hain or the Noble Maneater Bug, we can flip over Gorgon's Eye before we attack to make sure that their monster's effect does nothing.
That's Gorgon shit. Total Gorgon shit.
Hallowed Life Barrier. Basically, we can protect our monsters from battle for a turn by discarding a card. That sounds pretty good. So triple Mind Crush, which we're playing mostly because it synergizes really well with Haidhane. I think that's why we're playing Haidhane over the no Man-Eater bug. But it seems like a weird way of doing like a 2-for-1 to use 2 cards to fully remove something from Tabas's grip, as opposed to just playing the Man-Eater bug to begin with.
Because you're stupid.
And Taunt. So this, in the opponent's main phase, we can pick one monster on the field, and while that card is on the field, the opponent has to attack that monster. So let's say we've got the Armed Dragon level 5 out and something else, we can just force Tabas to have to attack the Armed Dragon level 5 before we can attack our other monsters. Basically, a lot of these cards just read protect monster for a turn, and that's good enough to warrant playing in the main deck. Right, let's see how we get on. Okay, this is a pretty abysmal first hand. The traps are all appreciated, but we don't really have any action. Okay, Skulldog Malon for turn is very strong. We're just going to set that boy down, set down the Taunt as well as the Absolute End, and the Mind Crush, why not the whole fort, and pass it on over. Tabas is going to set and pass it back to me. We're going to draw the Rafflesia Seduction, very happy for that because I think that card is a stealth, a win con. Tabas is going to go for the Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, and he's going to try and clean up our first monster. Thankfully the Malon is able to take this because it's face down to begin with, but next turn Ninja Sasuke will be able to get through it. We're going to flip over the Rafflesia Seduction, steal Tabas's Sasuke, and we're going to go for battle and see if we can hit into what Tabas has. Charcoal and Patchy. In hindsight, I probably should have attacked with the Rafflesia first and then the Charcoal.
Should have had hindsight.
We're just going to tribute the Sasuke for our Haidhane. Tabas is going to go for the Horse level 4. Head into combat, it's going to get our Haidhane. We're going to bounce both his monsters back to hand. Tabas is going to go for the 2-man Cell Battle. During each player's end phase, the turn player can special on a level 4 normal monster for the hand. Oh, cool. That's kind of nice. I mean, we don't have that many normals in the deck, but it probably could come up for us. We're going to summon down the Masked Dragon, just get a bit aggressive here for 1400 here. In the main phase 2, we're going to go for the Mind Crush and get the Charcoal and Patchy out of there because we know that card is problematic for us. Tabas is going to summon down his Horse level 4, and we're going to go for the Taunt.
Nerd!
Making Tabas have to attack the Skulldog Malon for the turn. Right, our turn, we're going to draw the Element Dragon, and since we control a fire monster, it's going to be gaining 500 attack up to 2000. With that, we can clear the Horse, dealing a nice 400 damage to Tabas, and we're going to get also attacking in with the Masked Dragon. Sets a monster, passes. Our turn, we're going to draw another Masked Dragon. This time, though, we're just going to go for the level 4 and hope we can rank it up into the level 6 in the end phase. We're going to attack it in. It's a Dark Mimic level 1, so Tabas is going to draw 1 card. We're going to deal a fat 3400 here. In hindsight, we could have just turned the Malon attack mode in 1.
Should have had hindsight.
Doesn't matter. End phase though, we're going to tribute the level 4. Arise! Horse! The Black Flame Dragon level 6! Tabas is going to go for the Ultimate Baseball Kid. Alright, Tabas is going to attack into the Element Dragon and deal some 1300 damage to us. We're going to set down our Haidhane here by tributing the Rafflesia Seduction. Tabas is going to go for another Baseball Kid. They're both pumped on up by to 3500. We're going to lose the Malon and we're going to lose Haidhane here, but we're going to use Haidhane to bounce him back to hand. Tabas is going to go for the Graveyard in the 4th dimension.
Through the mystical fabric of the 4th dimension.
Why is this a level support card? What has that got anything to do with the level monsters? Tabas is going to set down his level monsters back into the deck. End phase is going to discard the Ectoplasma. Well, I think you better have something, Tabas, because this is game. And nope, it is game. Nice. We actually nearly got cooked by the Baseball Kids now. I did not realise their value of like gaining 1000 for the opponent's monsters as well. Seemingly, after seeing how good they proved for Tabas, we have sided them into our main deck now. Tabas is going to summon his Horse, commanding lead. Go for the Enervating Mist, so our hand size becomes 5. That I do not think is a worthwhile card to play in the main deck, Tabas. I think you're grossly underestimating how often my hand is going to have more than 5 cards in it. Alright, we are going to lose our Mystic Swordsman level 4 here, sadly, to the Element Dragon, and then the Horse will attack in for 1600. Thankfully, he didn't kill a monster because he can't rank up in the end phase. We're going to set down our Masked Dragon, hope we can just like insulate a bit with that and go into Armed Dragon level 3 come our turn. We're going to go from Masked into Masked, and Tobias is going to take the bait. In the last one, we're going to grab the Armed Dragon level 3, and our turn standby phase, we're going to tribute him, level up into the Armed Dragon level 5. We're going to summon the Element Dragon. How he can attack twice thanks to the level 5, but we just are using it basically just to clear out the element Oh, and since Tobias's horse is a fire, our Element Dragon also gets boosted by the 500, going up to 2000, clearing his horse and then clearing the Dark Mimic level 1. Tobias's turn. Goes for the graveyard in the 4th dimension, shuffles them both back into the deck. Fine by me. And then sets down a monster. Our turn. Rafflesia is a great draw here. We can just set that and actively take one of Tobias's monsters next turn, provided he summons it face up. We're just going to go for the battle with the Armed Dragon level 5 and the Element Dragon, slowly poking on into Tobias's life points here. He's going to summon the Sasuke, clear the Element Dragon, deal a pitiful 300 to us. Absolute End is okay, but not very good. We're going to go for the Rafflesia Destruction, steal that Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, attack on in with everything here for 45. Yeah, we didn't have game. I was like, did I have game if I summoned the ultimate base? We couldn't. No, we didn't. Main phase 2, we're going to tribute the Sasuke, set down a Hane, you'll go. And Tobias loses, that's it! Rafflesia, the best card ever.
Are you trying to seduce me?
For our first progression deck, there'll be dragons in these waters. Obviously, we've got the Armed Dragon level 3s and the Armed Dragon level 5s. We've got the Masked Dragons. We've got the Horus line 4 into 6. We got the Element Dragons. And we got the Troop Dragons, the all-star from way back when, just being able to float on into itself when it's a draw battle, just a nice stream of resources there. And also being a wind to synergize very well with the Element Dragon. To complement these cards, we are playing somehow Chaos. I'm not quite sure how I've managed to wangle some Chaos monsters into this deck, but we have. We've got double Shining Angel, which we can use to float on into the DD Warrior Lady. We have the BLS, and we have Magical Scientist and Jinzo as our 2 dark targets, as well as the Sangan. Magical Scientist, though, obviously can get us some lights and darks using his effect. But in general, I think we were just scrambling for playables and thought, well, we could put in the Chaos Engine. We also do, of course, have the big boy, Mobius, the Frost Monarch. Because guess what, Tobias? I'm Mobius now! For the spells, we're playing the Heavy Storm. We are playing double Luminous Spark because we believe our win con is Element... Oh, that's why we're playing the Chaos stuff, because Element Dragons are light. Duh.
And the penny drops.
Because we believe our win con is basically Element Dragon, Luminous Spark just boosting him by a further 500 is really good, as well as obviously being a good out to Tobias's Umiuka. We are playing a couple of My Bodies just to protect against Raigeki Break and the like. 1 Pot of Greed, of course, triple Stamping Destruction. This card is really strong since we're playing a critical mass of dragons. As long as we've got a dragon on the field, we can just use this, pop one of Tobias's spell traps, deal 500, so we can use this to proactively get rid of Tobias's back row before he has a chance to use them, or force him to activate them in response. Either way is good for me. We have, of course, double Terraforming to search the Luminous Spark. In the traps, we've got triple Bottomless, 1 Ring, and 1 the Dragon's Bead. I really actually like the look of this deck, even though it's a bit all over the place, but it contains a lot of my favourite cards from this era in Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see how well we do with them. Okay, looking at opening hand, seeing the Luminous Spark and the Stamping Destruction, plus access to basically any of our dragon lines is very strong. Tobias is going to go for the Gagagigo, set 1 back row pass. Thankfully, also one of the really nice things about Mars Ryan is he plays under Bottomless beautifully, so we're going to summon him out and then hit with the Stamping Destruction, get rid of Tobias's, Compulse, that's fine, we're just going to get set back on tempo a turn, bounce that guy back to our hand. Main phase 2, we're just going to set down the Bottomless and pass the turn. Tobias's go. Down comes Sea Serpent, and this is quite a bit of damage, but thankfully we do have the Bottomless to stave off a bit of it. We're going to take the 1850 from the Galileo, our turn. My body is pretty good here.
That's what she said.
We're just going to go for the Master Dragon set, my body set as well. Pass the turn. Tobias's go. Umiruka comes down, buffing his waters by 500, and down comes the 7-coloured fish to also benefit. They're both up to 2350, and we're going to go Mars Dragon into Mars Dragon. Thankfully, this is one of the recruiters that can summon in defense mode, so we won't have to worry about getting smacked in the face by a fish. With the second Mars Dragon, we're going to pick up the Element Dragon. We're going to activate the Luminous Spark, reset the Umiuka, boost up our Element Dragon over his monsters, and then we can also normal summon down the Troop Dragon to give ourselves 2 attacks. Element Dragon's going to clean up both the 7-coloured fish and the Gagagigo here, slapping them both up, and the Troop Dragon's going to hit on him with his little spear and sword here. Tobias is going to take a nice 700 there, and we're going to pass the turn. Tobias' turn. Sets down a card, summons the Zombira, banishes for the Aqua Spirit, which is fine. Zombira is going to cleanly out the Element Dragon, and then we're also going to lose the Troop Dragon here. We're going to float on into the middle one. Our turn, standby phase, main phase. We're going to go for the normal summon of Element Dragon, boosting itself up to 2000 again. Try and get over the Aqua Spirit. Ooh, we're going to My Body Tobias' Bottomless here. We don't want to lose our Element Dragon again. With this one, we can now actually out the weakened Zombira, who's down to 1900 here. And Zombira goes down. And then we can attack again, clearing out the Aqua Spirit. Tobias' turn. He goes for a set, pass. Terraforming is nice here, just anytime we get to deck then it's pretty good. We're going to go aggressive though with the Horus level 4. That's also going to buff our Element Dragon up to 2500. I'm going to go for the Terraforming, grab ourselves another Luminous Spark for the follow-up. We are going to be aggressive and hope to get on in with our Horus first of all, so we can rank up into the level 6. Yes, we do. We clear the Witch. Nice. With the Witch, Tobias is going to grab, he's still on the Lily, okay, he's going to grab the Lily. We're going to go for Element Dragon, attack directly for 2500 here. End phase, we're going to rank up our level 4 into the Horus level 6. Tobias' turn. Down comes the Fairy Lily. Tobias is going to pay that hot 2000, pump his Lily up and kill our Element Dragon here. Not too much of a problem realistically, because now Tobias is basically all out of luck. And yeah, that's the game. Ooh, Pot of Greed, Terraforming, love to see it. Okay, Tobias is going to go for the Gagagigo standard.
What a combo.
We are going to go for Terraforming, grab ourselves our second Luminous Spark from the deck. We don't actually have a reason to use it at the moment because there's no field spells out and we don't have any of our light guys. Hopefully though, the Pot of Greed can find us one of them. Bottomless and Sangan. We're going to go for the Master Dragon, normal summon, Stamping Destruction, just try and get rid of Tobias' back row. It's a Bottomless, good to see that go. Main phase 2, we're also going to set down our Bottomless and pass it on over. Tobias' turn. Fairy Lily comes down. We're going to lose our Master Dragon here, taking a 450 damage from the Gagagigo. We are going to float on into a middle Master Dragon. Are you going to be bold? Nah. Okay, so Fairy Lily's going to just stay there in attack mode. Not really posing much of a threat at the moment. We're going to set down the Sangan. At this point, we can just let Tobias take apart our board because we know we're going to continually float onto good stuff. Ooh, Compulsory is very strong though, putting our set Sangan back in hand. Tobias is going to go for the 7-colored fish, and with these guys, he's going to be able to out the Master Dragon. He's going to out the other one with the Gagagigo. And then with the final Master Dragon, we are going to go into Troop Dragon, which thankfully Tobias decides not to attack into. Item, ooh, what a draw. We're going to Tribute. Windmill slam down at level 5 and use his effect to grind up our Horus level 3 in hand to pop the Fairy Lily. Arm Dragon level 5, crank and rolled. Ciao. Tobias has taken 650 here, a bit of a bruising here. Oh, sorry, 550 here, a bit of a bruising. Tobias' turn. Pot of Greed, only fair, draws 2. With that, he's just going to set 1, banish for the Aqua Spirit, and Umiwuka. Alright, main phase 1, we're going to go for the Luminous Spark, overwrite Tobias' Umiwuka. And we don't quite have a Light in the Dark in the graveyard, so we're just going to set down the Sangan, pass the turn. So, a bit of a misplay there, just going to edit that out in post, but basically Tobias used Ring of Destruction before I could use my Arm Down level 5's effect, so we both just took to 2400 there. Alright, over to Tobias' turn. He's going to summon down the Zombira for turn, that's pretty strong. We're just going to Bottomless that, we don't want to be dealing with too many of his monsters at this stage. Thankfully he does attack in, putting the Sangan in the grave, and with the Sangan we're going to grab the Element Dragon. We're going to take 16 here. My turn though, we have set up the Light and Dark and Grave, so down we will summon the Element Dragon, and then we're going to set down the My Body. Wait, do we not? Oh, we don't have a Light in the grave yet. Okay, we're just going to go for combat, out the Aqua Spirit here. Thankfully, if Element Dragon does die, we do then have fodder for the BLS in hand. Let's see what Tobias is able to cook. Sets down a card, passes the turn. Our turn, Stamping Destruction is great, but Tobias has no back row. We're going to summon the Horus level 4. We know we don't have access to level 6, but we're just going to hopefully use this to allow our Element Dragon to get even buffer. With 2500 attack, we can easily out the 7-colored fish here. And then Horus is going to chonk on into the set monster and hopefully destroy it. Let's see what Tobias is working with. Which goes down, and Tobias is going to grab the Zombira.
So original.
Okay, Tobias' turn. Sets a card, summons the Zombira, clears the Horus. Fair enough, we're going to take 500 here. We're going to main phase 1 go for our Stamping Destruction, blow up Tobias' back row. It's his own My Body, that's pretty good to see. Thankfully our Element Dragon now is big enough to out his Zombira, taking the Tobias down by another 100 here. Main phase 2, we're going to set down the Bottomless, pass the turn. Tobias' turn. Sets down a card, passes. I'll go, ooh, Heavy Storm is probably the worst draw in the deck right now because we've got nothing to use it on apart from our own board of 3. We're going to clear another witch, and Tobias is going to use the witch to grab a Zombiro again.
So original.
Suppose it does out the element dragon. In theory though, Tobias, only in theory. Oh, we're actually going to allow it. We just want to go for the BLS here. Oh no, look, you've put a light and dark in my graveyard, Tobias. What am I going to do? Oh no, I'm going to banish the Sangan. I'm going to banish the element dragon. Behold your ultimate demise.
Lackluster soldier, envoy of the beginning!
Demolish him.
Luster blade attack!
And attack once more.
Lackluster soldier, end this!
Chopping Tobias down to nothing. We did it. We won a match against the water deck. The dragons. The dragons are with me today.
Who's a good dragon? Who's a good dragon?
Whilst I wish that was the only progression match I had for this episode so I could ride out on a high after beating Tobias's water deck finally, we do actually have another couple of decks to try out for the progression match environment. One of which is this zombie deck. Now, it's not very good. I'm just going to say that from a get-go. Nowhere near as much synergy as the dragon deck had. I thought, seeing as we'd got to a point where we got a decent number of regenerating mummies, some double costings, some pretty strong tribute zombies, we might as well try and bring these guys out. They're not going to get any better until we get to like Tactical Evolution and Zombie Master and Mizuki way down the line. So this is the best that the zombies are going to get for a while. In the main deck, we've got our Dark Dust Spirit. One tribute zombie blows up the board when he's summoned, very strong. Triple Des Lakuda, even though this card is probably way too slow and terrible at this stage in Yu-Gi-Oh! He's a zombie.
I like you.
He's in the deck. We have got the Despair from the Dark. The main effect doesn't really matter, but potentially we can summon him off of one tribute with a double costing, so he's just a big 2800 dude. Or if we've got no monster on the field, he can be summoned out by Call of the Mummy, which is really cool. Double costing, just a 2 tributes for the Despair, and 1700 is okay. We've got Jinzo, we've got the Magical Scientist just to summon a smorgasbord of our fusions from the actual deck. We have got one Mobius, of course, keeping this guy in the main deck for most of our decks going forward. Triple Mystic Tomato, triple Regenerating Mummy, one Sangan, double Vampire Lord. I still don't like this card, but I think, like, given we're playing the zombie focused deck, we might as well include this guy. He's kind of good if you can summon him without a tribute with Call of the Mummy. We have got double Zombira and then the Mad Dog. Because we are playing triple Mystic Plasma Zone as our field spell of choice, we might as well play some just decent dark attackers that technically have no other synergy with the rest of our deck. In the spells, we've obviously got 2 Call of the Mummy, we've got the 1 Hammer Shot, 1 Heavy Storm, triple My Body, triple Mystic Plasma Zone, 1 Pot of Greed, and then triple Terraforming to search our Plasma Zone, and we've got triple Bottomless and the Ring as our traps. In the side, we've basically just got a whole bunch of Chaos stuff and more trap remover, and of course our Magic Scientist suite.
Brains.
Looking at our opening hand, pretty happy to see the Call of the Mummy. Hopefully we can draw something big like the Vampire Lord or Despair from the Dark to pair with it. Alright, Tobias is going to go for a Zombira Pass. Wouldn't it be fun if we went Zombira Pass? Thankfully we are not that... Oh, actually we're kind of screwed because Mystic Plasma Zone benefits his Zombira. We are still going to grab it nonetheless, just a deck thing. Going to go Call of the Mummy, summon out the double costing, and then... Ooh, get Waigeki Breaked. That is... very annoying because we were going to go for the Jinzo and protect ourselves from that. Thankfully, since we haven't normal summoned, we can just set down the Mystic Tomato, set down the Bottomless, and that gives us a good couple of turns of protection now. Tobias is going to go for the compulsory though. Oh, sugar. Uh-oh. This is just 3400. Damn, Tobias is just willing to spend 2000 life points just to put us down to half. Thankfully though, this means that Call of the Mummy is back live again because we've got nothing on the field, so we're going to slam down our Regenerating Mummy. Let's activate the Mystic Plasma Zone that does boost his Zombira, and we're going to summon the Mystic Tomato. With this, we can actually start chunking out his injection failure. We're going to go for the first attack. Tobias is going to pay the 2000. I'm going to take 1500, float on into Mystic Tomato. We're going to attack the Lily again. There's no way you are doing this, Tobias. Do you just want to lose? What is going on? We're going to go into our last Tomato. Tomato attack again. Lily dies. That's going to take 1500 hit. Alright, Umu comes down.
It's time for Zombie Boy to sing the American national anthem. In America. Brains, 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 brains.
I'm going to lose the Mystic Plasma Zone, although honestly I think that was benefiting him more than me. Galagigo comes on out. Okay, I see why. we are going to go for the bottomless, just get the Galileo out of here. We don't want to be dealing with too many of these guys. Tobias elects not to attack. Ooh, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to tribute, summon down the Jinzo Bomb. And that's the game. See, this is why Lily is a liability in a lot of scenarios. Right, game 2. Can we get like 2 matches in a row here? Right, Tobias is going to go for 2. Ooh, the 2-man cell battle. I kind of like that. He actually is playing a decent number of normal monsters. He uses that to summon down a sea serpent as well as his normal summon Galileo. And it's over to us. That really fixes things. Goes for the ordeal as well. Okay, we're going to go for terraforming here. Grab ourselves the Mystic Plasma Zone before we're going to fire off the Pod of Greed classic combo. Drawing the Mobius. I like to see that when Tobias has a lot of back row. We're going to set down a back summon our regenerating mummy and activate the Mystic Plasma Zone, boosting our guy up to 2300. Oh, he's going to get banished. We will my body this to protect at the cost of 1500. I'm not willing to risk the attack because I want to go for the Mobius next turn and blow up his board. Tobias is going to shuffle his hand a bit. Pass the turn, my turn. Draw. well, why have Heavy Storm when I've got Heavy Storm on legs? In the main phase 1, I'll tribute my regenerating mummy. It's Mobin time, Tobias.
It's the big bad boss. Boom!
Mobius, the Frost Monarch. Blow up Tobias's back row. The really awesome thing though about him playing a water deck is Mobius gets boosted by Umiruka, so we go up to 2900, which would be pretty insane. Mobius out Galileo. Destroy him with your power. Your turn, Tobias. That card does actually stand up pretty well against Mobius. Okay, you know I was saying this card was a liability. It is also just a way that just outs monsters and gets it past bottomless, so I suppose I do see why you're still playing it. We're going to take 1000 here as Mobius dies. About as effective as Mobius M for the real ones. Tobias are going to also banish the Galileo. We're just going to go for the bottomless, get that Aquasphere out of here. Can't be bothered to deal with that. Our turn. Deslacuda is funny. We're going to go for the regenerating mummy. Gets boosted by the Mystic Plasma, and at least we can out the Sea Serpent here. Main phase 2, we're just going to pass it over, and to Tobias' turn. Tobias are going to go for the set, summon the Sea Serpent, pump his Lily by 2k to get over the regenerating mummy, and we are down to 800. The tides have well and truly turned. That is not bad. Ring Destruction means we can easily out Tobias' Fairy Lily, and Deslacuda means we can actually clear the, or keep some advantage going. We're going to go for the Heavy Storm here. We do lose our field spell, but we just want to make sure we don't play into compulsory evacuation device when we set our Deslacuda here. We're going to set the ring, set the Deslacuda, hope Tobias doesn't draw a monster. Pass turn. Okay, we're going to ring, get rid of the Injection Fairy Lily. Both of us take 400 here. We're clinging on by 400 points here. Sea Serpent's going to clear the Lacuda, and it's our turn. Please give me a good monster. Vampire Lord does nothing. And that's the game. Right, into game 3. Okay, looking at this opening hand, Magical Scientist is a good way of getting lights and darks in the graveyards. A couple of Deslacudas, probably too slow at this stage of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're still going to set one down and just hope Tobias is also going to play a bit slow with maybe like a Witch or something. He's going to go for 1-2 back row, grabs his Terraforming, gets the Umiruka, which is going to hit fast forward now. We know it's going to come. 7-colored fish, out's our guy. We're going to go for Mystic Plasma Zone. We're going to get bounced with our compulsory bounce from the Magical Scientist. We're going to take a load of damage from these guys. We're going to go Magical Scientist again. We're going to get bounced by compulsory again. And we're just going to be absolutely cooked here. Ordeal comes down. We thankfully got the Mystic Tomato, but it is not strong enough to withstand multiple attacks.
Brains.
Our final deck is our insect species. With our critical mass of these buggy boys, we will ensure that Tobias loses.
Okay, I can't do a Weevil impression. I can barely even do a Beavis and Butthead impression. I honestly don't know which one he is in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TAS. I've never watched Beavis and Butthead. But yeah, that was my attempt at Weevil. Just ignore it, please. Right, anyway, this is our final progression deck. We call this Bug Power, baby. We have a decent number of insecty boys, and some of them are good, most of them aren't, but we thought, seeing as we run back the Deslacuda and the zombies, let's run back our Storm of Scabs and Storm of Locusts in a deck that kind of suits them, hence Bug Boys.
Easy, Bug Boy.
score?
Our main win con, if you can call it that, is probably the Gaia power. We're running a lot of Earths, and especially stuff like Neo Bug and the Arsenal Bug and Jirai Gumo benefit immensely from this. To complement the main core of attackers, we obviously have the 4-star Ladybug of Doom. This card is just very strong, especially as Tabas is playing a lot of level 4s. We've got double Gigantes because we've got a lot of Earth monsters. We've got the triple Howling Insect. This guy can float on into either one of the swarms, which can act as removal on our next turn, or it can float into Pinch Hopper. And Pinch Hopper, if he's sent from field to graveyard, when he is sent to the graveyard from the field, I can special summon an insect from hand. This is a stupid when you can, so this card misses timing all the time. Hopefully that doesn't come up in the games. In a dream scenario, we can Pinch Hopper into Metal Armored Bug. This card was a dream for me as a kid. I was like, oh my god, if I summon 2800, I just win the game. Metal Armored Bug, legend, playground staple.
Metal Armored Bug.
Classic.
And of course we've got double Neo Bug too. For the spells, as I said, we've got Gaia Power, Heavy Storm, Level Limit Area B. We are playing a good amount of level 3 or lower monsters with the Swarms and Arsenal Bug, so this guy actually could put in some work. We've got triple My Body, 1 Pot of Greed, double Terraforming, and the triple Bottomless. Right, let's see how we can do with these bugs. Right, starting off, we've got Gaia Power, looking strong with that, as well as our decent bug lineup. Tabas is going to go for the Zombira. We're going to get ordealed, fine, whenever our turn. Summon down the Neo Bug. That is I will say that's the worst value on destruction I've ever seen, Tabas. Ring on Needle Bug. What did you think I was going to do with Neo Bug? Alright, we're going to pass. Tabas' turn. Fairy Lily comes down, and you are, oh my god, he's going to go for the aggressive 2k, putting us down to 2800 with the Pump and Dump.
Pump and dump.
Right, and that's the game. That was just embarrassing, really. The bugs really put up no opposition whatsoever. This time, though, things look a little different when we've got the Neo Bug and the Bottomless and the My Body. We're actually able to protect the Neo Bug, and then maybe next time we can start cracking with the Storm with Scalps. Right, Tabas is going to go for Set, Uniruka, Gagagio, we're going to go Bottomless, get it out of here. Our turn. Ordeal comes down, that's kind of annoying. Right, we're going to summon the Arsenal Bug going for battle. Arsenal Bug, hit on him first, come on, the Gunners, let's see what we're going to get. Boom, Sea Serpent, take 2000, that's just like Arsenal beating Spurs in the Premier League. Come on, the Arsenal. Neo Bug, yes, your turn to bias. Pot of Greed, sure, whatever, draw 2. Not that it matters. Okay, it does matter. Injection Fairy Lily is a killer of a card. Paying 2000 to out the Neo Bug. Honestly, that's a trade I'm pretty happy with. Our turn. Gigantes is as good as it gets here. We can banish that Neo Bug, summon Gigantes out, and then set down the Swarm of Scabs as a potential threat for next turn. We're not going to go for combat. We're going to leave Gigantes in attack mode though, to kind of force the Tabas to have to commit a strong monster to go into it. Gagagio comes down, and with these two he's able to clear out the Gigantes. Gigantes is going to blow up the back row, gets rid of the Ordeal, which is the card I was really annoyed about. And Uniruka also goes. Injection Fairy Lily now cannot actually get over one of our cards without paying the 2000, which Tabas is not willing to risk. Our turn. We can now flip over the Swarm of Scalps, pop Tabas's Fairy Lily, and now summon down the Mystic Tomato. And with this, Tabas, your dream of Premier League domination is over, as the Arsenal Bug does what Arsenal always does to Spurs. Destroys their dreams. Well, I suppose Tabas is still, I guess, living with 150 here. Nothing other than a 2-man cell battle. That is problematic, especially if you're getting the Aqua Spirit as well. I actually thought I'd build a pretty good board here, but it seems that you're able to out most of them. Why did you summon? Oh, you summoned the Witch so you could out the Arsenal Bug. I see. And the main end phase, you're going to summon the Sea Serpent. Okay, standby phase, you're going to use the Aqua Spirit, change my guys to defense, and just hope I don't have another monster. Annoyingly, you're right. I actually can't beat the Witch. Don't tell me I lose this. Don't you dare tell me I lose this. Alright, 4-star Ladybug of Death. Doom, wipe his board clean. That is what we call in the business. A 1 for 4. Editor, play that clip.
1 for 4.
Sparks is going to grab the Gagagigo. Oh, that's actually annoying because he can summon it now with the 2-man sail battle. That's some nice synergy. I actually approve. I can see why you're still on the water deck with this like spicy inclusion. Our turn, we're going to grab ourselves the Sangan for draw. We're going to go for the Pinch Helper.
Pinch Helper, attack! You might think I'm foolish. Why would I attack your Gagagigo with my clearly weaker monster? Well, it's so I can summon the Metal Armored Bug. Armored Bug, attack!
Oh my god, I'm sounding more like one of the aunts in Simpsons. That's destroyed my voice. I'm not going to do that again. Into game 3, the bugs actually put up some opposition. Alright, we're going to hit fast forward and just relax and enjoy the match. Alright, Tobias is going to go for a hefty back row plus the Witch. We're going to go for a Terraforming Grab or Guy Power, Pot of Greed, grab 2 Swarm with Scouts, which I'm going to get ringed into our Howling Insect. That's pretty good value. It means our Howling Insect doesn't float. Then for 2, we're just going to set down the Bottomless, banish the guy who go with that, take 1100 from the Witch. We're going to set down our Mystic Tomato, start chugging on into the second one. Guy Power out the Umiyuka, and we're going to go for Joe Grimmer, which is going to die by the Bottomless. We're going to clear 1 Witch, that's going to bounce into the Injection Fairy Lily. Tobias is going to summon the Fairy Lily. We're going to take a lot of damage, losing 1 of our Mystic Tomatoes there. Compulsory evac is crazy here, bouncing Swarm back to hand so we don't end up getting any value there, and then we just lose because we've got nothing on board. Wow, shows you the value of compulsory there. And that's another episode in the books. Hope you enjoyed it. We ended up playing some pretty good games. Next episode, the 2 sets that we're opening are Dark Legends, which is a reprint set of basically every old early Yu-Gi-Oh set, and Rise of Destiny, which introduces not much really. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and do please subscribe and like to stay up to date with any other videos in this series. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye bye.